So, for my paper topic, I plan on writing and talking about the ruling class ideology and how that can affect economics and other government issues, possibly. And the ruling class ideology is basically people with a decent amount of money can control a lot of things simply because they can afford to do so. And since people can have a lot of money, they can have certain influences in the world. They can control what goes on in government, in politics, in economics, and the overall world in general. And how I really plan to analyze this is I plan to take a both political and economic approach and show what money really can buy in today's world, because it doesn't really focus on consumeristic values. It can focus on buying yourself power, giving yourself a high position in the economy and the government, and because of this, it can control a lot of stuff. And from regarding examples to this course in general, there aren't a whole lot of examples that I could use because we've really only briefly talked about government and politics. But some of the resources I've found and the graphic novels and comic books I'm going to use are: one is the Detective Comics number 33, which is the origin of Batman. And I feel like this perfectly represents the ruling class ideology, because Batman was born into a really wealthy family, grew up really wealthy, and had a lot of influences going on. He engages in intense intellectual and physical training to stop the bad guys, and he says that his disguise must be able to strike terror into their hearts. And really, the only way he can get this disguise and get this power is through the vast money that he has. And the other source I have is going to be The Tale of Suspense, Iron Man is Born. So I'm also going to be using the kind of origin story of Iron Man as well, because he shows off his new inventions to the U.S. military defense, which he is a really smart inventor, but because of this, he gets really wealthy. And because of his wealth, he's able to make the Iron Man suit, which allows him to have superpowers and have a certain influence on certain things, which that could be taking down bad guys or influencing politics, which that is also shown in Civil War, but I'm not going to talk about that. Um, let's see. So yeah, this overall just fits into my topic because both of these superheroes are really wealthy when they get into their adulthood, and because of this, their wealth can be used to basically influence their superpowers and super abilities. And it may not be like super abilities that come to them, but they are able to buy these super abilities, which they can use to influence the cities they're in, whether it be Gotham or New York for Tony Stark. They can influence the city, how it functions, but they can influence the governments in the worlds they live in and how they'll react to these superheroes and how they can solve some world problems in general.